don't they know I'm back? You wanna know who the best is?
It's Blazing 98.5. What? Your new station, bringing all the real classic hip-hop and R&B.
Yeah. And that's a known fact.
We gon' rock it till the wheels fall off. Hold up.
We're live from the studios in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Like every day.
It's now time to get this party started.
Come on now.
Check it out, funny people. It's the Garvani Gold.
Sonny T back.
It's Camp Low. Right here, locked down on the Manny and DrChurch show.
Come on now.
Where we talking to?
The Manny and DrChurch show.
No.
Yo. This Lil Y.
Sonny Super Geechee Sway, hailing all the way from Black Hollywood. We got it locked right here on Blazing 98.5 FM. Keep it locked.
The Get Down Brothers.
Yeah.
Alligators are gay crocodiles.
I didn't know that.
Welcome back to the Manny and DrChurch show. Good morning, y'all.
Hey-o.
Featuring the darkness this morning, but not here.
Not here.
Tomorrow. We love the darkness.
It's still dark outside. We got
Still
that
dark
full moon.
outside. That's true. We got
Very observant today, church. Thanks.
you know, I'm out here just paying attention all the time. It's what I do sometimes. Not really. Actually, I don't pay attention much. I paid attention yesterday though.
You did?
Had a doctor's appointment.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you gonna be fine?
Well, I'll be all right. I think I'll make it through.
You're gonna be fine.
We're gonna work it. I'm gonna work it through.
What kind of doctor news did you get?
So you know that it's there's new people coming into my house.
Colorado Springs DrChurch is gonna have twins.
Yeah, it's messed up. It's horrible. Well, it's not messed up. It's not horrible because now it's recorded. So these kids are gonna be listening someday, maybe be like,
"Oh, that's
Dad,
great.
you were rude, bro. It's not right." I guess I'm just more of the I'm in a lost state of mind right now, and I guess so. It was like, oh, surprise, you're having a baby.
Yeah, and that was a good surprise. You know.
Then it was like,
wait, hold on.
You're having babies.
Babies, twins, two of them. There's two of them in there. Oh no, what am I gonna do?
Hard ass, bro.
Yeah, that's
not good.
Sorry.
Like freaking out. You're looking at the car, that don't work. You look at the house, that don't work. Like it just don't work. There's a lot that just doesn't work. And so then it's like, all right, no, we're gonna work this out. No big deal with bunk beds. Stick them in the same room. You know,
yeah.
whatever.
At least for a few years.
You know, they'll have a bunch of the same clothes. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, hand-me-downs.
You wear that one. You wear that one.
Rotate.
Switch. No big deal. You know? And then you find out that one's a boy and one's a girl.
For real?
Now what?
Well,
now what, Manny?
I mean, you don't judge for the first couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, if he's wearing a unicorn shirt, you don't worry. And if she's wearing a truck shirt, you don't worry.
Okay, so we raised them gender neutral in the beginning. Okay.
Yeah.
We discussed this. Maybe you're right. So we go with the gender neutral, the Z.
The Z, is that a thing?
Z.
It's been labeled?
Oh,
Great.
Lord, Manny.
It is. It's 2018.
Manny.
They just make up words for things.
Oh, Manny, you're going to have me look this up because it's that good. So Harvard.
Thanks, Harvard.
Harvard came out with a list of approved gender pronouns.
What?
Yeah, they have a...
What?
They have a gender pronouns list. So that you can identify as Z-E, H-I-R, H-I-R-S.
What are you speaking to me?
Yeah, I wish this was a joke, bro. I'm not joking.
What is
dead on
this?
serious. This is how you have to refer to people now, I think.
All right, I'm lost.
Harvard, for the first time, is allowing students to choose their preferred gender pronoun from a list including such gender-neutral identifiers as Z, her, and hers. It's Z-E, H-I-R, and H-I-R-S. Yeah.
What is said purpose of these letter combinations?
To mess with older people, to make you angry.
Like,
so you just want to start punching people in the face.
Well, I don't
repeatedly?
get it.
Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
So I guess what we're talking is that people all of a sudden decided that they control biology, and however biology exists, and they go, there's more than one gender. And you're like, what?
Hold up.
Yeah, I just made it up. That's how it is. And you're like, okay. What? I'm so confused. But anyway, people are microaggressed upon, and now they want specific labels and stuff like that. And if you don't refer to them as such a label now, you get in trouble. In other countries, in Canada, I think you can actually like be locked up and have charges pressed against you because they don't have free speech. We have free speech. Like, I could say the once upon a time 90s F word, which I won't say.
Because it's expensive.
Yeah. Well, no, not that F word. The other F word, though. The one that everyone used to
Frankenfurter.
Well, it was like
No, that's not the right
we
word.
used to call cigarettes. I'm going to go smoke a fag. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what they called it in
bundle
the
of
UK.
sticks.
Yeah.
Bundle of sticks.
And that word used to be dropped left and right.
Left and
On
right.
a
And
regular.
up and down and in your mom's face.
And it's become a word that I've noticed is falling into that community where it's kind of like the M-bomb.
Right.
Where it's like, you allowed to use it if you in the community, but if you ain't, well,
if you ain't, well, shame on you.
I'm microaggressed upon.
Unless you're accepted in the community.
And I'm glad it's early
Right.
because we probably get a lot of hate mail right now.
At the
if
Manny
anybody
and
was
Dr.
listening.
Church Show at gmail.com. Or you can find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram.
Right, we
at
out
the
there.
Manny and Dr. Church Show.
We out there. And maybe we will inform you on some of these crazy topics or just keep them hidden into the 6 o'clock hour.
Or
Hoping,
participate
Oh,
and
Lord.
get us off these topics.
Yeah, because they're
talk about?
it's a little intense to where I can't lie. I didn't mean to even touch on that topic, but
Are
it's
you
something
sure?
that
You came in, you had your gloves on.
I did.
That you provided by Lab Builder.
Lab Builder Supplies bringing us gloves. I appreciate that. Nice segue. Lab Builder Supplies already starting commercials. That's right.
Oh, good.
You're looking for trimmer gloves. They've got you covered. Hit up Lab Builder Supplies, 719-722-4181. They've got them boxes of glove for $6. That's a win.
That is a win.
That's a win. That's a win. So with that being said, I'm going to get off of that awkward topic. I'm going to bring you on to the new topic, Manny.
Yay, topics.
Yay! I got topics, Manny.
And it's a great way to stay in shape.
We got topics.
What do you got?
Great topics. So this one's going to annoy you probably.
Oh, yay. So
but-
this is what I showed up to work for, is
Well,
for you to annoy me?
No, but kind of, but yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's informative is what it is. And a lot of
Alright.
people don't know a lot about business and stuff.
So am I going to have to fire up the old Google machine?
No, this one's the maybe. So this is like, we'll just talk about, let's say, about 3 different deals. I know of others. Probably I'll talk about a 4th one. Business deals that screwed us completely as the consumer. Like, completely screwed us. Yeah.
Man, there's been quite a few. You go back into the Nintendo era.
That's what I figured you'd have that. You would have that knowledge on such a thing. To where I guess, like, what I'm trying to get at is I'll name one quick one, and then you give me a little bit of your knowledge here, if you will. And I'm sure everybody does these moves still to this day, because there's a
Right.
lot of, there's college out there with business strategies and all this, and books about all these things and so on. And so one of the business moves out there is called planned obsolescence. So the
Failure?
That's it.
Right.
So like 6 months after you buy your coffee maker or your bread maker and it suddenly dies, that wasn't an accident a lot of times.
Keeps them in rotation.
Yeah, buy more stuff.
Right.
If I sold you something that worked forever, you're not coming back. And I'm in business
Man,
to
you
make
remember
money.
those days?
Yeah.
Remember when they made things to last?
No, not anymore.
Nah, I don't really remember it.
They took
I mean,
that
I've got
all
some
out, bro.
VHS tapes that still last. They still.
But
they
the
still work.
VHS player don't.
But they're cheap.
I need
enough
a
to where
cleaner. You got a cleaner, bro?
I do have a cleaner.
I ain't playing. I need a cleaner. Can I borrow it for real
You want to
though?
borrow my VHS cleaner?
Yeah, because I got the little lines.
Colorado Springs. This is real struggles here.
Yeah, like I
All right.
wish this was a joke. This is so real. My VHS player is having a little line. So possibly through planned obsolescence,
Right.
that it's just stopped working properly. At which point I have to buy now what? A tape that cleans my thing? So
Or you spend $10 at a pawn shop and get a new one.
right.
But actually, they're kind of climbing in prices. The whole VHS DVD combo set. I'd say is probably one of the more popular.
That's the win.
Yeah.
That's the win.
I'm still looking for a Laserdisc player.
Oh, they got to be expensive now, I'm guessing.
It's been a while since.
Because they've
since
gotten
I've looked at the
rarer, and I'm
market.
guessing Beta probably the same thing. Beta players are probably.
Was it Beta? Wasn't that like a whole room? Like it was like a TV and a. Well, no.
No,
I've seen
no.
some of the setups that
The
they
older
use for
ones,
Beta.
maybe?
Yeah.
You're probably talking older, because I had the more updated 80s, 86 version, I'd say 85.
Okay.
Maybe 87 we had. And it was about the size of the VHS player. The VHS was next to the Beta. We had both. My dad was techie like that. We were broke.
Yeah.
But dear
But
Lord,
at
we had the
least you
expensive
had it.
plastic metal things there.
We shall be entertained.
Yeah, we had them to where they were about the same size player. And what was messed up is you'd grab the actual container for the movie, the sleeve. The sleeve would be the same size.
Okay.
But the tape would be just the difference inside. Like there was like a little bit of a bumper. So the tape was about, I'd say about 6 inches in length, 5 inches in length, or 4 inches, versus the 8 inches of or 9 inches of a
Like
VHS.
a box. Okay, so they were smaller?
They were smaller, but then when you put them into its boxes, it had like a little cardboard bumper inside the top of it. So it would look like a normal, almost like a VHS. Is from what I remember it.
Right.
Might be, somebody's listening right now like, he's a liar. That's not how it was. I swear. That's
There's some people saying you said Beta what?
Betamax. Betamax. Or we were just poor and we kept our
I've been
betas
playing
in
the beta on
VHS.
Fortnite, you know. Yeah, they don't know what we're talking about.
Those kids are not awake that early. They don't
Yeah.
go to work. They're still at home with their parents. We're
It's
talking to the people that are
it's Saturday
up.
morning. They probably went out last night and got a little too sauced up.
Yeah, they're sleeping. So we're talking to the guys and girls that are out there grinding.
Got
They're
up and ready to work.
The older demographic, a lot of them. Some of you out there are younger out there, are grinding this early in the morning. We appreciate you. You'll probably make it somewhere in life. I
You
don't
might.
know where.
Right?
We're hoping somewhere. But
Somewhere.
That's
Gotta stay
we're gonna
positive.
leave that there. But with this planned obsolescence, one of the first deals was General Electric. They basically conspired to limit the lifespan of the light bulb, planning what we now call planned obsolescence. So you sell the light bulb.
Well, I think it's because they generate enough data to where they know when it fails. So they can max out the product. You know, let's see how when this thing will fail, and then you just kind of market around that.
Or even shorten the lifespan going,
By pushing it.
we'll sell more because as soon as they go out, they need it.
Right.
not
Because
an
all
option.
they'd have to do is maybe use less of the filament or material that they're using so it'll burn out quicker, or instead of making it a thicker product or maybe the thicker product makes it heat up faster and then it burns out quicker. So they've already done the science. The
Right.
research already been done. So
And it saves them money.
right, because they can continuously get the customer back in the door
And
to buy new ones.
and they use less. It makes them money with the customers, but it saves them money with less, product being used to produce their product, if you will.
You're saying less material?
Material. There you go. Product,
Okay.
material, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it just seems like it's a business strategy and move.
Absolutely.
And
Everybody feared that when the cars made the shift from like metal cars, when we had like a car that when you hit something else, like they didn't like crumble like soda cans.
right. Well, I mean that, and also you didn't have this experience because I had the American car that would break down. You
Okay.
had the Japanese car, right? I think what
My
you had.
first car?
You had a Honda, I think. You had a
I did,
Honda
yeah.
CRX, right?
CRX, yeah.
Cars that don't break down for some reason. They went a lot longer, and it was like a known thing.
Right.
Like when you went to go buy a car and you had a lot of traveling to do, you go for that Honda Civic, you go for that Honda whatever, or that
Right.
Nissan whatever. It wasn't like
I think my stepdad was just like, okay, this was on the back page of the. All right, it's.
This
all
is
right,
cheap.
it'll work.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
This works. I'll take it.
This kid don't deserve it.
But no, the other thing he probably looked at was, hey, it's a dependable car. That might have been the other part in his brain sitting there going, hey, this is dependable.
Yeah.
It looks like crap, but it's going to run. And I know he ain't going to be calling me at 2 in the morning, broke down on the side of the road going, Dad, my Ford's messed up. Found on road dead. Sorry to all the Ford drivers. They get really mad at that. And I'm not a Ford guy or Chevy.
Send the
I
hate
just-
mail
there.
to the Manny and DrChurch show.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's
Gmail.
it's a thing, and it was the truth. It was like they sold more dependable cars in comparison at the time. It was like the lifespan of the car just went longer. Well, I don't know if they were late to the game with the business model of, we sell them something that breaks down a little more often. We can sell them parts. You sell them, if we use the cheaper steel and the muffler falls apart faster, we can sell them new mufflers.
Quicker. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I'd say in the gaming world, you don't really have that.
No.
Not in the consoles,
Okay.
but I'd say in the games. You know, one thing that I've noticed, because I quit playing the modern games, you know, I don't own the PS4 or the
Sure.
Xbox One. When you purchase the game, you end up with what? It's a $60 bill, you know, to pay for the game right out the gate.
Right.
And then you end up having to pay for the downloadable content, which is more, 20 something bucks, $30, depends on your involvement. And then you want to be an individual, so you spend another $10 or $15 on the, you know, here's my skin, you know, and whatever.
Wow.
But the idea is now you've spent over $100, and this game, it's great. You bought it because you're going to play online, right? Now, you've played games online for a lot of years now.
Sure.
It's not new tech.
Well, Doom.
But go ahead and go fire up that 360 and play one of those multiplayer games that you used to rush out and go and play with your friends.
Right.
Some of those servers are down.
They're gone.
You don't even get to play them no more.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
So it's you buy it and you don't own it anymore. Now it's gone.
I mean, there's certain aspects of it they're going to let you keep, but the original, the playability of it has tarnished. It's no longer the same. You know, you can still go in and play the campaign mode, you know, but there's certain games that I can't access online functionalities.
Wow, because
So
they
even
just
if
take
I
it away.
dump money, yeah, they just shut down the server.
It's not even an option no more.
PS2, they shut down the server, what, 2 years ago or something like that? PS2?
No, I didn't
You
know that.
That was just a couple years ago that happened. They finally shut down all the servers for PlayStation 2.
Well, all right. So that's a good topic.
When will
PlayStation.
PS3? I mean, we're done with PS3. You know,
I'm
we're
not.
on PS4.
I'm not.
I still got my PS3.
I'm not.
I'm not either. They still got some great
Don't
games.
do that to me. I stream my YouTube on my PS3.
You're right, and it's still a great.
It's a great Blu-ray player.
You're right.
That's what it is.
Man, he got offensive.
Yeah. Sorry. I get to it. I don't like to give up and go into the new. You got to get the PS5 and the PS8, and I like my PS3. It works fine. I don't need the new because it's not doing anything too different for me. Which is.
But eventually, it will no longer have its full functions. I mean, it's already lost its functions.
It'll be like phones when we were forced to move to. And I don't even know that you remember this because just literally the small few years between us might have put that gap. Text messaging. When text messaging came around, it was called a tri-mode phone. So eventually to be able to accept text messaging, you had to get a tri-mode phone, it was called. So everybody had to upgrade if you wanted text messaging. And there was a lot of people like, I don't need to text on my phone. It's stupid. And eventually they didn't give you the option to buy anything other than
in the package. Huh?
You had to buy the new phone, and you had to buy the one that accepted text messaging. Everybody's like, I don't like that one. That's the one that can.
Until the technology evolved, and then I'm assuming was bought by a larger company in which you agreed to the terms and conditions of the contract.
I mean, it was where people hated it though, also because they were saying, "Oh, they can follow me on that now. Now they can follow me." It's with the text message. As soon as I put that in, it's 911 location. They can hear everything. And it possibly actually was. I don't know how deep that went. And obviously, years from now, we'll be able to look back and be like, oh, wow.
I had to shut off face recognition software from Facebook on my phone.
Whoa.
It notified me that it was on. I was like, I didn't turn it on.
Wow.
You know?
And to download the app, you have to download the Messenger now.
Yeah, I just got rid
thing.
of the Messenger because I was getting. I actually screenshotted it. I wonder if I could pull that up.
But you can't have the app anymore, then, right?
The Facebook?
Yeah.
You
like
can
if you
still
get rid
have
of the
it.
Messenger, you can still have the app.
You can still have Facebook. You just can't message people, and your phone's gonna fight back and forth for the default. Like who's gonna be your chat? You know,
Wow.
your text message provider. It's ridiculous, and
I've-
it volleys back and forth.
I've never downloaded Messenger because it's like a whole too deep of a thing for me.
It is.
Where they're like, we want to watch you at nighttime before you get dressed for bed. It's like, thanks, Facebook and all
I woke
your...
up to 2 more of those this morning. No other notifications from Facebook, nothing. This was just through Messenger. And I woke up with 2 more of them this morning.
They're like, by the way, Messenger's enhanced features have been enabled. Just so you know, we just want to Just so you know, they're enabled.
Right. That's all it states, right?
Yeah.
What does it state?
Messenger's enhanced features have been enabled.
That's it.
Not do you want to enable them, just
Confirmation numbers.
Just
and
so you
everything.
know.
There's 2 different confirmation numbers and
Yeah,
everything.
dude.
But no contact, who to reach out to, nothing. And nothing was sent to my Facebook. This was a text message that came to my phone.
Wow. To where I'm hearing there's a whole movement now, delete Facebook or something like that with Elon Musk and a bunch of
Some
other guys.
people are over it, man. Like how many of your friends are like, yo, dude, I'm so excited. I'm gonna go home and get on Facebook. Yay.
I mean, anymore, not as much anymore. But I definitely still hear the drama, and I still hear the heartache. Is the other thing I hear from that.
And that's
site.
just gonna push people away ultimately. And
Yeah.
I mean, like I do appreciate what they're trying to do. They're grabbing everybody's technologies, like a little bit of YouTube, a little bit of Instagram, you know, because now they've got the life. You know, you can click on people's stories up on top, the little bubbles, and when they go live and stuff like that. That's kind of an Instagram thing.
Okay.
And then they've also got episode viewing, so you can watch videos. Who's one of my favorite guys? Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs.
Yeah, I remember.
He's got a like a web series, if you will, on Facebook called. Man, I really wish I can. I don't know. He's like paying it forward, helping people out.
Right.
And it only airs on Facebook.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And so Facebook is trying to adapt all of these different platforms and smash it all together. The only thing is, though, is I don't think they're worried about our generation. I think they've moved on past our generation.
Yeah.
They're not worried about making money off of us. We're trying to figure out a way to make us money. You know what I mean? It's been in that kind of a
They're on to the kids, man.
right. Like they don't need to worry about us.
Yeah, we gone.
And
They got
now
us.
that Facebook is such a thing, they know that the kids are literally just going to walk right into it. And if it becomes that user friendly to where they don't have to go all over the place, I'm assuming they're hoping that it's going to rise again. You know what I mean? Because I feel like Facebook's dropping.
I think it's dropping. I think they're definitely. Well, here's the thing: youth, we naturally, we naturally rebel. It's what we do when you're young. So it's like if your parents are like on Facebook all the time, staring down at their phones.
Right.
What are you going to do as a kid? You're going to grow up and go, I hate Facebook.
Right.
I ain't looking at Facebook. It took
And
my parents away.
That's another side, yeah.
Took my parents
Absolutely.
away. My parents weren't even looking at me because they were constantly looking at the little blue line at the top of the screen.
And kids see
The
it.
white-
They know you are. That's why every once in a while you put your phone down.
Non-stop, they know. They definitely know, and they look at it non-stop. To where it's kind of funny because I used to look at it in traffic. You know my car. Even
Right.
if I wanted to use my phone,
I was gonna
you
say,
just
you're
can't.
not-
It's
yeah.
too old. It's a 1990. It's stick.
You have a manual transmission.
Yeah, so it's like there's no option of smartphone usage if you will. But
Anti-theft for the newer generation of kids.
they just were like,
You
what do
hear
we-
about that?
do
Two
with
couple
this?
kids tried to steal a pizza car, like
Yeah.
a delivery car, and it was a stick.
And you're like, oh,
They didn't make it.
what do we do with this?
What buttons do I hit?
I can't do this. Yeah, I mean, but when I drive, I look over.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many times, especially in New York traffic, you look over, that
Everybody-
little blue line, it's on everybody's phone. All of them.
And
You
their
just keep
heads are all
driving, you're
down.
like, you ain't looking at the New York Times.
Nope.
You're not reading the New York Post article.
You're just scrolling. You swiping.
Yeah, you just status update, chicken teriyaki for dinner last night. Hey, well, why'd that person have to update that? That's so stupid. Like, I don't care.
What I love is that when you start seeing people start doing better with their lives, you know, and start making better choices, and it's not all about the parties, you start seeing pictures of their food.
That's where the change occurs.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's like food porn.
Like, oh no, see, I can cook. I'm a responsible individual.
That picture they took of me with the magic marker on my face last night?
Hey,
That's
man,
not me
I'm
all the
guilty of
time.
it. I'm guilty of it. Because I used to post, you know, some of the rowdy pictures, if you will, and then it turned into like, why am I just sharing all of this nonsense? I made Brussels sprouts with pork chops. Blah blah blah. Hey, enjoy that. Y'all just wish you were eating as good as me. And so I saw it, you know, and now I see other people doing it. You know what I mean? Because now I don't see them posting their shenanigans, if
like
you will.
calming
Yeah.
down.
And yeah.
I mean, well, here's the other thing I've seen too. It depresses the hell out of people, man. Because nobody puts up their real life. You put up what you want your life
Yeah.
to be, right?
Well, yeah, and then there's those other people and I'm addressing quite a few of you.
Here we go. Uh-oh.
That open it all up.
Uh-oh.
And they are just like, give me all those likes and the sad faces and the poor me's. Like, they just dump their whole story out there.
Like, here you go, my life.
You know? And it's like, in truth, nobody's going to be able to, they're not going to help you.
No.
You know, they're going to give you a thumbs up.
You'll get that like.
Yeah, and you're going to get a sad face.
Yeah.
But in truth, you're not going to, and I don't want to say not, because I'm sure there's going to be about 5 of you that would. But they're not going to rush out there and make sure that they don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care. You know what I'm saying? But there might be, like I said, there might be a few people out there, your moms, your aunts, your uncles, something like that might really pull you out of something.
Right.
But in truth, your homeboys, the dude that just started following you,
Don't matter.
the chick that you're trying to hit in the DM, you know, like, they don't care.
They don't. They just don't care.
You know, like, oh man, my car just got repossessed. Yeah, they don't care.
Who cares?
They're not gonna pay.
Not gonna help you
get
out.
it out.
Sorry.
You know what I mean?
No, don't care. Yeah, I've stayed away from a lot of that, but I've seen it where I've seen so many people where they're like, oh my gosh, so-and-so is doing this. And then I'll know the person in real life and be like, they're doing what? Yeah, they just got a Lamborghini. And you're like, what?
That's a horrible idea.
And then you'll be talking to the person and be like, no, that guy went on one of those drive things. And it'll be like, oh, yeah.
No, you're talking one
Be
of
like,
those
no.
dream drives.
Yeah, and it'll be like, no. And I know people, you know people, but and I'm not specifically counting one person, but I'm saying is, I've seen a lot.
Absolutely.
I've seen the car rentals.
They paint the picture.
It's real.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's funny because then I got introduced to a guy who's a newer artist, let's say. You showed me him. His name was, I woke up in Chris Brown's body.
Oh, you talk about Little Dicky.
Oh my gosh, too funny.
I heard it playing on the station
Well,
that day.
Great
I
song.
was so proud of whoever was DJing that night.
Such a great song.
I left the club like, yeah.
It was so good.
It's a good song.
Well, if you look at his older songs, what got him pretty big was he made a music video where he went around and he basically just goes, he drove to like a really expensive, nice neighborhood and walked up to a mansion. He said, hey, I'm shooting a music video, but it's about saving your money. And your house is beautiful, and I would like to make a music video at your house. Can I shoot in your house? And they're like, sure. So there he is in the music video in a giant mansion. And then he goes to the dealership, to the McLaren dealership, and he's just like, hey, I'm making a music video. About saving money, though. And I got to look like a hot rapper. Can I borrow your car for tip? Next thing you know, the car's in the background, with just this $400,000 car.
And he's set.
And you realize a lot of people get caught up because advertisers are selling the crap out of this stuff. Product placement is huge.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
huge. And so next thing you know, you get caught up going, oh, I need that Samsung S9. I got the S8. Chris Brown has the S9.
Gotta have it.
Need that S9.
Saw it in that video he was in.
Yeah. And then you get caught up.
Yeah.
Which leads us back to it. See that big circle? We just made a big circle. We brought it back to the
business. Yeah, but we ain't got the same listeners. We literally catered to the 15-minute listeners.
Maybe someone cared,
right,
and they stayed all the way on.
All the way through?
Probably not, though.
All right.
This is the Manny and DrChurch show. We are out here this morning tickling your ear holes.
Tickle.
It's Manny and DrChurch here.
The darkness, she's not here.
She's not here right now.
She's going to be making the Sunday appearances.
I like that.
Gracing us Sundays
with her presence.
Yeah.
And her knowledge and shining the light on us. I appreciate that. That'll be fun. But this show is brought to you by Warp Zone Gaming. Back of the Speakeasy, 2508 East Bijou.
Game room and back. Hashtag that.
Yes. And if you have participated with us at any part in time, you might have been. We had a cereal bowl event that just came together.
Gosh. So much cereal.
At a left field. It was like, oh, let's do it.
It needed to happen.
Oh, let's do it. We're doing it.
We're going to do it.
And then we just did it. It just happened. And it was like, we had a really nice little turnout there with people that came out.
Absolutely.
It wasn't too big. It wasn't too small. It was just the right amount where we had
25 cereals.
It's a lot of cereals.
And I'd say only one
copy.
Yeah, the Puffs.
Reese's Puffs. That was the only copy. Other than that, they were all
great cereals.
Every different cereal you could imagine.
Right.
It was amazing. I tried
different combos of great cereals, like classic cereals.
I saw you go wild. You put what,
I
like
did.
3 together?
I did. I
Three or
mixed all
four?
3 different cereals. The Reese's Puffs,
Okay.
the Colossus Crunch Marshmallow, and then Life cereal.
Oh, you did it with the healthy at the end.
Absolutely.
That's
Just
nice.
topped it off with a little
Just
bit
to
of
keep a
Life.
little extra.
Yeah.
To where that was probably our winner, AJ, who won the B-Nail. Vape pen.
congratulations,
Probably brought
AJ.
that.
There was a lot of winners. We gave a lot of stuff away.
No, I mean, I got a list of, like, I can't tell you how many people here that I pulled out my pocket from before. People that just...
Well, you ran the contest to
One.
name your strain.
That's right.
So they had to smell, like they didn't know what it was. It was obviously in a container, but it was cannabis.
Right.
And they had to smell it.
Right, and it was labeled
Guess what
1,
it
2,
was?
and 3.
Guess the name?
Guess the name.
Did you give them, like, names to choose from?
Right, so we gave them we had a nice little list of names of different strains.
Okay.
I'll name a couple off. We had Purple Fantasy, Lemon Skunk, Doctor Who, Purple Punch, Bobby's Whitney, Canatonic.
Are these just ones that people guessed?
These are real strains
Right.
that I know of.
Right.
That I put into the mix to throw people off. Some of them being close to the same smelling profile as the one that was actually in the jar.
Right.
Only one person got it right all the way.
Really?
And that person actually stayed out of the contest because they knew.
They knew you.
He was like, I know I'll ruin it and I'll be the only one to get it. And I was like, that's the point. You can win.
Are you talking about Master Carl?
Master Carl.
Shout out Master Carl.
Shout out Master Carl. Master Carl, we know you sleeping. But yeah, that was I had a good time. I liked the idea that we were able to see people and talk to them in person.
Absolutely.
Instead of like, here, come on
I'm
down.
gonna be completely honest with you. Like, I had ambitions to gather data.
Yeah.
Find out what kind of hip hop music people like to listen to, and
Right.
and topics they'd like us to discuss.
Sure.
So such great ambitions.
Sure.
But we smoked so much weed and ate so much cereal that the topics just never came up.
It just never happened.
We
It
were
was-
just having a good time.
You were just like, we're just eating cereal and smoking weed, though. I ain't got
Yep.
time
Shout
to
out
data
to
collect.
Shout out to Jeff. He smoked out of Little John, our like 6-foot
Oh my gosh.
steamroller.
What a messed up name for that, Little.
In
Ain't no
reality.
little on that. Ooh. Oh my gosh, man. That thing was
It's good for
intense. Ooh.
It's deceitfully smooth though.
Yeah.
It's a 6-foot steamroller.
Just pay attention to Manny's instructions when he tries to inform you on how to smoke said device.
Matter of fact, you
I
can
didn't
have your
listen.
opportunity to do that tonight because at the Speakeasy,
Speak to me.
we've got Smoking with Broken.
Oh,
This
Broken
guy-
812.
Yeah. And the idea is he is throwing this event where he's got a bunch of cannabis that he's brought in, like
Yeah.
an ounce at least, and 10 grams of shatter or something like that.
What?
Yeah, to be able to just share with.
He's like, I
so
have-
because he was going to put on a show, he's going to perform. I'm assuming. I think he's
mean-
performing. I think Damian Damani's performing too, from Dirty Games.
What?
Yeah,
All of this is going down this evening,
at the Speakeasy.
where you can also play video games.
Yeah. And so all you got to do is pay the cover, which I don't know what it's going to be. It's probably $5 or $10. But
Look it up on the
yeah.
internet. Do your own research like we always say,
do your
people.
stuff.
Shoot.
And you'll be able to smoke because it'll be provided. And
Free.
I guess people have already started to match.
That's right. Free weed alarm. It's a free weed alert, y'all. 2508 East Bijou. Free weed alert. Come on down.
Yeah.
I just figured I'd put that in there
Wow.
for Broken.
Okay.
Broken is going to smoke everybody out. That's
Well, I don't know if it's just broken. People are matching them too. Like, so from my understanding is now that there's actually like 3 ounces going to be showing up of flour.
Ooh.
And there's 15 grams of dabs that's going to be available. And I'm assuming it's still growing. More people are bringing. Like, there was somebody there last night that handed off like a big bag of weed to this lady.
Mm-hmm.
And she just spent the whole night rolling joints or blunts and like combos and stuff.
yeah,
And that was one of the individuals that was matching.
going to be out there.
He was like, just in case I'm late, I need somebody to start on this now.
Just get this ready for
Yeah,
us.
start rolling, please.
Wow. So come on down to the Speakeasy, 2508 East Bijou.
I'm assuming the main event's probably going to start around 7 or 8 o'clock, but it doesn't hurt to get there early. 4:20 is always a good time.
Yeah, man, he's always around for that 420 and 710 to where I wish I was able to make that 420 seating. I can't lie that you had some pictures. You had Blue there, all dressed up, all nice.
Yeah,
he was there.
Looking sharp, man.
Man, all set up, ready for his breakfast cereal event.
I probably had a total, if I put it into bowls, because I ate out of mugs.
Dude.
Big old beer mugs. That's what I eat my cereal out of.
I mean, I ate out of a giant pot with a handle. We all have our specialties.
But I probably ate north of 8 bowls of cereal in that night.
That's amazing.
I ate enough cereal to where the next morning I contemplated eating a corn dog for breakfast. I was like, I'm just gonna skip to lunch.
You're like, yo, it's cheeseburger time, though.
Like, I'm out, bro.
For real, this has been too much with the milk and the cereal and the sugar and the whole thing.
You want to get into some music? Were you
I think it's
about
time
the
for some
twins?
music.
Was that with that big old?
You know what it is that every once in a while I look down and I see something that's like, that's right, you're completely gonna be screwed, sir.
Colorado
That's right.
Springs, DrChurch is gonna have twins.
And not even like 2 boys or 2 girls. Like it somehow ended up one of each. So it's
One
like
of each.
you can't even stick.
You're gonna have a Hansel and Gretel.
Not one in the one room. They can't stick them both in the same. It's one in each.
Have you thought of names? Maybe we'll go into a small segment of stupid kid names.
They called it Baby A and Baby B.
It's not the kid's fault, right? It's
Guess
unfortunate.
We did that.
Apple.
I feel like we
That
did that. We went down some of that a while ago, though.
You
It
went
was
down
like
the generations of
we did that.
your family?
No, you and I did that
We did?
in one of our shows.
How am I supposed to remember that?
Before we got fired. Listen, I know you got blown up. You are a vet, and I appreciate your service. It's not your fault. But I'm just saying this. That was definitely one of our topics.
Okay.
It was spoiled kids.
Spoiled kids, I remember.
and their
Spoiled kids.
Dumbass names. I said that's right. I
Yeah,
said the A word.
they
It
do.
was-
They
It
got-
was that stupid.
they
I'm
do
allowed
got
to say that though.
dumbass names.
It's legal. Anyway, yeah, we talked about the stupidity of some of the famous people and some people's children that we have to deal with that are now
Right.
adults, and you're just like,
Man, where?
oh, your parents were famous. That's why you're here. I hate you.
I've learned
Yeah.
that it's because of the Buffalo Bills, because they lost a football game by 1 touchdown or something like that. Like, just because the Buffalo Bills, the Kardashians are famous. Because they lost the game, they ended up getting a certain round in the draft pick. They picked OJ. And then OJ went to Buffalo, and that's where he met Nicole. And then if he didn't go to Buffalo, he never would have met Nicole. And then and then if OJ would never met Nicole, he would never have killed.
Robert.
Would never have killed. And then the Kardashian would never have represented him in court. And then thus, down the line,
I had no idea you were going
It's
there.
because Buffalo, we have the Kardashians.
It's Buffalo.
Yeah.
That's the origin
According
story.
to the internet
That's the origin story.
of the Kardashians.
I appreciate you so much because I'm sitting there like, he's like, it's because of the Bills we have. I'm like, no, it's OJ.
No.
It's OJ. No, it's the Buffalo Bills. You're right.
Right. Because they lost a football game and had to draft OJ.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank
Just
you,
if
Manny.
they would have won that game, the Kardashians would not be a thing today.
See, that's one thing. We love our origin stories out here. That I appreciate that
You're
because
welcome.
that's a little bit of knowledge that I very much appreciate. So,
Again, it's from the internet. Do your own research.
wow. Well, that means it's true.
It's got to be true.
It's just not real.
Colorado Springs, this is the Manny and DrChurch show featuring, well, the darkness. We're going to have to get used to this. So Saturday she's out. Sunday she's in.
Sunday she in.
She in.
All right, so it's
We're
the
gonna
Manny
get
and Dr. Church show.
Keep it locked. It's blazing.
Did you know alligators are gay crocodiles?
Can sharks growl?
Weird.
When you can't find a lighter, you need the new
Blazing.
98.5.
Man,
We are back.
that's a lot of Velcro.
Stop, Manny.
All that required for underwear?
I told you not to talk about this on there. We're back. Welcome back to the Manny and Dr. Church show. Manny,
Hey-o!
some reason likes to bring up topics that I tell him to keep off the air.
Well, you're the one that likes to share a little too excessively.
Dude, it's new technology. Velcro underwear is the future.
I don't think so.
Anyway, we're not talking about this.
All right.
Welcome back to the Manny and Dr. Church show. We've been out here talking about planned obsolescence for business moves, if you will.
Slow it down a little bit. Slow it down. What? Planned what?
Planned
Parenthood?
obsolescence.
that- is that- is that
Something
where
I
you-
should have listened to. No. Not funny.
Is that where the condom breaks?
No.
That's not planned.
No. Planned obsolescence, maybe that is.
Population control. Did you know?
That's how they got me, Manny. Wow.
There you go. Connecting dots.
Trojan obviously had planned obsolescence on their condoms, and I obviously used the one too many times, and it finally broke. It gave way.
I don't think you're supposed to reuse them.
What are you talking about? That's how you save
You
money.
Just wash it out and
Yeah, I'm on
put
a
it away
budget.
in the drawer.
Yeah, you put it in the dryer.
Like there's being frugal.
I save
think
up like
that's
5 or
a-
6. We wash them together
Wow.
in the washer and dryer at the. You put them
Wow.
in the dishwasher first,
Wow.
and you put them in the dry cycle on the dryer.
Colorado Springs. Here you go.
That's.
That's.
But I
gross.
think they
That's-
gave us
no,
something
that's
messed
gross.
up here. That's obviously how I ended up with twins. They did planned obsolescence, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll sell them a prophylactic that'll break after 5 to 6 washes." That was planned, obviously. Shame on them.
No.
Shame
I don't
on you,
think so.
Trojan. Shame on you.
I think Trojan actually, relies on their product lasting as long as possible.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't want it to break. Because if, they got the reputation of things breaking, then the stock would go down because nobody would want to buy it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think you just probably didn't, I don't know. I don't think I could say it on air.
Oh. Well,
Sometimes
I guess
when
I
you,
messed that up
Sometimes
then,
when
huh?
you pull out the driveway, you take a little too long and you miss the opportunity to catch the green light at the end of the street, is what I'm trying to say.
oh boy. Wow, we're speaking in code this morning. Manny's about to order weed, it sounds like. Remember that back in the day? Be like, oh, I need a slice of pizza?
One slice or 2 slices?
You want a whole pizza
whole?
or just the slice of one?
Actually, I need a half.
A half a pizza.
Yes, please.
Okay. It doesn't. I want the. Do you want
got
the
pineapple? Do you got pineapple pizza?
deal? No, we've got the Maui pizza. Yeah. I loved ordering in code, and then you'd get confused in the middle of it. I get
Wait,
confused.
what?
Be
Wait,
like,
what were we
dude,
talking about?"
I don't know what you're talking about. You got weed, bro? You got weed,
Just
though?
break down finally.
For real. Like, I don't even know what you're saying anymore. I don't even know. We discussing bath salts or weed. I don't know what you're saying. Like, I need some weed. Stop
man.
with this weird code talk, if you will. Anyway, we came back in because we need to talk about Warp Zone Gaming.
We do?
We do, because it's the end of the hour.
You were afraid we were going to get off topic and just start rambling.
Because
and
we
not
started
close
to
up this hour.
Right.
So we got to close up this hour.
We got to close up the hour. We'll come back on the next hour.
So we're going to give them some music. Colorado Springs gets some
Maybe.
music.
Maybe.
What kind of music?
Probably not. We'll probably just talk all the way over it. No, I've got some hip hop, Manny.
You were
Got-
saying you were going to play some lady tracks.
I got some. No.
No?
I changed it up.
Man. This
Now all about the Lil and the Young.
Oh, God.
I'm going Lil Wayne,
They're not little
Lil
no more.
John,
They're not little no more.
and Lil
Little Bow Wow?
Bow
Isn't that
Wow.
kid like almost 25?
No, he's like 30 something
30
now.
something?
eh?
Okay, yeah, so he's old. We old.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that whole Lil and Young thing didn't.
They don't think about it. Like they're gonna be rap stars now, so they're
Like,
young and little and this, that, and then big and whatever's. But
Oops.
over time things change.
You get older, and you're
Yeah.
suddenly like, oh, I guess I'm not young.
Skinny Chains is now fat bracelet.
That's right, nothing but the hip hop hits over here. We got Fat Bracelet coming up next with the hits. Wow. Anyway,
So plug Warp Zone because we're
Yeah.
gonna wrap this up.
that's right. Warp Zone Gaming is where you can play nothing but video games of all your old school classics.
Old school classics.
The classic
original
classics.
hardware.
And we're not talking the emulator garbage, if you
No.
will.
No lag here.
No, it's like straight up just, hey, put in, cartridge,
Cartridge.
and press play, and get rolling. Not like, hey, download the old school emulator on your phone.
Yeah,
I did that.
you did.
What's that, Manny?
That's Tetris music.
Yeah, it is.
That's great.
It's got like the green, gray,
Oh
gray.
wow, that's nice.
Oh yeah, it's got.
You've got
the-
a Tetris emulator on here, so it's like a Game Boy.
Oh my God, I don't even know if that's legal, bro. Someone just did that
Probably
for
not.
me, and I was just like, you
Now
can
it-
do this?
Now you have it on your phone.
It was one of them 20-something-year-olds that are like, I know the future.
Well, if you're
Anyway.
if you're not gaming on your phone and
You
you
can
want
come on
to
down.
play old school, like GoldenEye, where you got your buddies next to you.
Yeah, with
and
N64.
you got to settle the score.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if you want to play, have a Tecmo Bowl, Super Bowl tournament, something along those lines.
WrestleMania.
I got it.
WrestleMania. SmackDown Brawl.
I got it.
Shoot. NBA Jam.
I got it.
Echo the Dolphin.
I got it.
Tetris.
I got it.
Mario Brothers.
Got it.
Shoot, people. There's not much left to even bother with. Excite Bike Contra.
I got them. I actually there was a customer that came in. He was an old school gamer from where was he at? Nope, I ain't got it.
Whatever.
Across the way, across the pond even. You know,
Right.
He was almost Jamaica area. You know what I'm saying?
Right by the beach, boy.
Yeah,
that guy.
But he was a huge gamer from back in the day, and I made a promise to him. I was like, you know, if you come through and you're familiar with Contra, I'll make the promise that we will run and gun and we'll beat it. If you're good enough to where I can carry most people, but if you're familiar with the game, I can guarantee that we're gonna beat it.
We're gonna
because
get
I
through
put
it.
in the Contra code. Or the Konami code, if you will.
Up,
and
down,
then,
down.
And then we just run through it. If we got to continue once or twice, you got 90 lives. And with that, I feel like I can carry you all the way to the end.
You can
know
get
what I
through
mean?
it.
Yeah, so we sat there and we beat Contra last night.
If you're looking for childlike laughter, happiness.
They're grown adults sounding like kids, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, honestly, it brings you back to a place that you want to be.
It does.
That's the best way to describe
That's one
this.
of the biggest comments that I hear is that, man, you're taking me back.
That's
like
it.
I feel like I'm 10 years old again.
That's
You
it.
know what I mean? And I was like, that's what I'm here to do, is just preserve the history, provide the games, because as much as we'd like to ignore it maybe, weed and video games kind of... Well, video games grew up with weed because weed's been around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when video games came around, the weed kind of they were like, hey, we best friends.
Hey, let's hang out. Yeah, that made sense.
And I mean, and in truth, you get that old school setting of being able to play with your friends.
That's it. That sounds
You
like
know?
a win. So come down to Warp Zone Gaming, meet Nintendo Jesus, hang out in the back of 2508 East Bijou at the Speakeasy Vape Lounge. They got CBD flower on the shelves and CBD dabs.
True.
They got a pretty good jukebox. They got a pool table. They got a good spot to hang and chill out. And occasionally got great events. You
We
got the
Pastor
Broken with
Troy.
Broken.
We got Pastor Troy coming in. We got Pastor Troy. We've got Broken 812. He's throwing his event tonight. That's where he's what is it? So far, he's been matched up to 3 ounces of flour.
Oh boy.
And 15 grams of dab, to where you pay your way at the door, and you got access to come smoke with Broken.
Wow.
And basically, I'm assuming you ain't gonna need to worry about getting high.
No,
'Cause,
you're going to be all right.
yeah, there's gonna be some smoking competitions and some I'm assuming blunt rolling competitions, and I think we're gonna break out Little John and Crybaby, the giant glass pieces that
Oh,
are normally
man.
reserved for the large smoking events.
Oh, man. I
And
tried
we're
that
gonna
Little
give 'em-
John this week. Whew.
It does its job.
Again-
Little John's a 6-foot steamroller.
Yeah, and if you encounter this thing, pay attention to Manny.
There are some
He will give you
instructions.
some instructions. Pay attention. Don't go off on your own all rogue. Like, no, I got this.
I got
I'm
this.
fine.
I
No
can
big
do it."
deal. No, you don't got this. You're going to choke. You're probably going to come close to dying and question why you did such a
No,
stupid,
you ain't gonna
stupid
die.
thing.
You will contemplate life and why you laced up your shoes
You will.
or Velcroed them.
Manny, I told you not to bring that up. There's no need for you to bring
Let's
that
get
up
into music,
right
man.
now. We should. We should.
Colorado Springs, this is the Manny and DrChurch show.
Featuring No Darkness.
Should be back Sunday.
I'm going to play this song
Is this for the darkness?
for the darkness. That's right. Nothing but hip hop classics, Manny.
You're doing great, church.
Oh my God, it sounds great. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Colorado Springs, keep it locked. This Blaze in 98.5 Dirty Game Studio.
Don't give me your swing, I got mines and that's the thing. Blase, who named Belvin? Don't give me your swing, I got mine and that's the thing. Blase, who named Belvin? Yes, I don't hate players, I'm from the crown rhyme sayers. Whatever kids say is get down with no delay. I play my card shark style, kings and aces. Welcome to New York, the Ellis, the 4 places.
Hey Method Man, this is Donald Trump and I'm in Palm Beach and we're all waiting for your album. Let's get going, man. Everybody's waiting for this album.
and we're back
Hey,
to the Manny and DrChurch show. We're out here having a good time this morning.
hey, we did it
Manny.
right. We didn't mess up.
We didn't.
Good job.
We've got this worked out. It's sounding like
I'm
we're
proud
gonna-
of you.
I'm slowly figuring out this board.
Isn't it nice to hear that when somebody says, hey, you know what? I'm proud of you. Good job.
Doesn't often happen.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
All right. So Colorado
It
Springs,
doesn't.
if you're working hard and ain't nobody said it, we proud of you. The Manny and DrChurch
Yo.
show, we proud of you.
If you're up this early in the morning, it's
And you
probably
hustling.
because you're working. Honestly, most of these people getting in their cars probably because they're working. Or they're running away from their families. One of those two. I can't take this.
I said I was going to get work in the morning. I'm out.
Ain't coming back. Yeah, no, we appreciate you grinding out here and actually even taking the time to tune in.
All you armed forces, law enforcement, fire department, people serving selflessly. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. We got the proper topics this morning, Manny.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
'Cause I kind of just showed up to work and I was like, what do I got to do?
I got a good one here.
Okay.
Do you think George Bush is ticklish? No, I'm kidding. That's not
Really?
What?
What?
No.
Well, matter of fact, him and I shared this one event. Yeah, anyway, never mind.
There was this time with a bunk bed. I don't
We were
really
playing tag.
Don't want to get into
and
that.
it got a little out of hand.
No, that's not
That's
the
not-
topic.
what were
That's-
you- what were
well,
you wanting
actually,
to talk
we were
about?
just starting to talk about. We started it last week a little bit. We started to talk a little off topic, off break here.
Okay.
The gun topic, man.
It's touchy.
It's touchy.
Well,
touchy.
no, not today. Not in today's world. It ain't touchy. Everybody busted in like the Kool-Aid man with their. They're like, oh yeah.
I got a feeling.
Yeah, and they bust out with these internet facts. People are keyboard warriors. And they come out there and they just start standing on their pedestal saying that this is how it should be and this is how it should be. And come on now. Sit
Everybody
down.
gathers
Unless
together.
you have actually gotten up and gone down to city council, like actually stood in the building, and participated with local politics, I don't want to hear your opinion.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't. I really don't care. You know what I mean? Because here's the truth about it. You're not going to do anything about it. Truth about it, you ain't going to do nothing. So you can have your opinion. That's great. Spread the anger, spread the aggression, spread the whatever. Try to spread your own idea, but you know what? You're still not going to do anything about it. Unless you're actually going down to city council and you know what? I'm not talking to you. Thank you for participating.
Right.
You know what I mean? But on social media, these keyboard warriors, no, keep it to yourself.
Don't need to know. Don't care.
What's your view on it?
I'm gonna upset some people.
That's
but
fine.
I've
This
said
is the Manny and
before.
DrChurch show.
Yeah.
There are no guarantees. We just
It's
kind of
what we
show
do.
up.
Well, listen, it's for me. All right, guns and having a gun. Laws have never affected my getting a gun.
Well, yeah.
Ever.
I agree.
Ever. And so I saw a lot of people out there last week holding signs, "We'll fight for our lives."
And again, how would you define that though? Like, I mean, are you just saying that you're able to pull it up off the street?
I'm saying, like, if you need a gun and you need to handle something, like it's a phone call to a cousin or an uncle, like, yo, you know where that? You got that?
You got that?
Yeah, there it is. It shows up. And I'd say a lot of people have that connect all across the board.
I think that's their big argument, though, is if they're able to pull them, the pull them off the street, the gun grab, where everybody hands in their guns.
Yeah,
and
like
stuff
drugs.
Like
when they pull them all off, they're just not going to be there,
Yeah,
right?
they're not gonna be there,
it's
right?
just not going to exist.
Right. Okay. So okay.
Yeah, we're going to act like 3D printers don't exist. You can't just 3D print up a gun, or
But then they outlaw and govern that.
or people don't actually. There's not blacksmiths out there of people that actually.
Then they outlaw that.
And that's what I love.
You're catching on what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and I go with is keep doing it, but at a certain point, people start waking up. And so here's my argument with this: is a lot of people are like, "Oh, we need to control the guns, this and that." Guns, in my eyes, where they say, freedom for the gun. Sure, we can't do nothing against the U.S. military. Let's be real. If there's a war, a battle, and we the citizens decide we're taking over our country, we ain't doing nothing against tanks. We're not doing anything against missiles.
How many people served in the armed forces?
Well,
less than 1%.
Well,
Less than 1% of the U.S. population serves. So I mean, if the people wanted to do something, the people are the most powerful.
So here's what I say. I go with the idea that they're there to help have a conversation. These guns. Well, sure.
I like the way you put that. I like the way you say that again.
It's there to have a conversation. They're there to help you have a conversation. Right.
Okay.
Because you can't always just speak and people listen sometimes. Sometimes you need a little like, oh,
right.
yo, hey. You got to have that little
Kinda
attention
like
grabber.
The Clive Bundy, whatever situation in
to
Vegas.
To a T what I'm talking about.
And they were getting land grabbed by federal,
Right.
I don't know the full story, but the idea is that they were coming and grabbing his land, and they met with an equal force of civilians with they were armed with ARs and deer rifles and stuff like that. The people came out of the woodworks and they stopped them, and then now recently they found out that they were not the citizens, but the agents were in the wrong. The government was in the wrong, and all the turmoil and all the anguish. It was
Now,
if they didn't have that equal force, if the civilians didn't have those guns, then the agents could have just mowed them over, and then Clyde Bundy would have lost his land.
Well, that's my
and
argument.
It wouldn't have been an argument.
that's my thing. Is I say, so they have the power to just roll us over and run us over. But now you've got media presence. You've got technology. You can record all this stuff. So it's not, you can't just hide it. You can't just off people, and I mean, you can, but it's a lot harder nowadays.
It's a lot harder
if you
nowadays.
will.
People are tracking that cell phone.
Yeah, and they're out there on their Facebooks and their social, live update, live stream, this and that, Periscope, whatever. But again, when you bring that conversation with a weapon,
Right.
they were forced to sit down and go, okay, we're about to be all over the news, blowing up a bunch of U.S. citizens with their tax money.
That's probably not going to go over well.
And I think that the guns are there to help give that conversation, if that makes sense. Where again I get it. We have radars and
But I think
super
people are
planes
more
and-
they're more concerned about the kid getting a hold of it and being able to take it to school and do the school shooting, or the guy that's crazy, or the lady that's crazy and doing the mass shooting, or something along those. They want to know how to control that situation.
Okay, so how about they address the situation, mental health? That's what you just
Oh.
described to me over and over there in that
Does
whole
it sound
thing.
that
Like,
simple?
why are you going for I'm confused. Let's outlaw rocks. Rocks are illegal now, because guess what? I can throw a rock and kill a person.
I'm pretty sure texting and driving kills
Plenty of people.
more people.
At this point, we've seen the people jump in cars and go, oh, I'm going to play Grand Theft Auto in real life and take a bunch of people out on a sidewalk. It's been done. Are we outlawing cars now? That's next.
The big debate is the safety. The people want more safety. They want to feel more safe.
Mental health. Okay. Let's fix the nut jobs.
That's your solution.
Let's fix the nut jobs. I mean, again, it's again, you can put
I'm
all
not
the
disagreeing
laws.
with you. I'm just trying to figure out a way to keep this conversation going, because it sounds like we solved it.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I agree. Thank you for that. I think it's you can only do so much before it's just like, this is stupid. What you're trying to look at, you're not looking at the right.
But there are
problem.
there is tech that is coming of this, okay? There's certain pistols that now you can have fingerprint locked, to where you don't have access to it unless it's your hand and it's registered to you. There are bracelets that you can purchase that will unlock the hammer, if you will, to where you can fire the weapon or something along those lines. Like, there's tech that's being developed for the safety to where a child would need almost two parts to be able to just fire the weapon. An adult, when somebody's breaking into your house, chances are you've already got the wristband on or the watch or something like that. It's an app or
And it
something.
works.
And it's featured and it's already with you, linked up with you, and then you can grab your pistol and defend your home. Shotgun, I'd say the old school route.
And see, so when you bring that up, that's where it gets tricky for me, where I just go, all right, well, I guess if that stops a couple nut jobs, but again, it's like, it's mental health. At any point in time.
But the thing is, though, is that how many guns are already manufactured to where it's, even if you started
now you just can't.
Right.
There's too many out there.
If you were to just address mental health, I don't feel like that's going to solve everything. Because we're pretty far behind on that aspect. It almost seems like we're in denial.
I mean,
that's a correlation that's what's going on.
I say we severely are, and that's one of the things that even last week we got into this again, is where we talked about, why the hell are we at war for this long?
15 years.
And it's like, the amount of money that we've spent
right
on bombs, blowing up brown people in other countries that we don't even know. We could have solved mental health, or if not, put so much money towards it. Or just cut a check for all of our taxpayers and gone, y'all are rich. Y'all good? You're just rich.
You don't need to be at war.
You don't have to go to work, neither.
Well, I feel like the only reason why we're still at war is because we haven't found, or we haven't seen the results.
Osama bin Laden?
No, not finding none of that.
Okay, all right.
I'm talking about we haven't seen the results. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they want a certain level of structure over there before we withdraw, almost like the Vietnam situation. But then again, that's
the thing. What's over there?
People,
Which one?
Humans, people that need and deserve a better life. You know, I met families, kids, children, you know, I mean, I picked up the babies in the houses and stuff like that. They're real people, you know, and they don't deserve having people come through and just, you know, gun up the towns because they don't have the democracies or the, you know, the disciplines that we do, I guess you would say, as a civilization, you know what I mean? But then again, we want to try and lead by example, so we make a presence over there and we try to influence other people so that way they can essentially come up to our standard. But then again, we're waiting on that. That's what I feel like we're kind of doing at war for 15 years.
I go with that's a nice sounding answer fed to people, but in my eyes, I'm just like, no, we selling bombs.
It's money.
It's expensive. We make a lot of money selling bombs. This is what we do. We do that. We sell a lot of bombs. It's what we do. We
you can talk to Congress about that, but I mean, as far as the Joe putting the boots on, he's doing it for the person to the left and the right, person in front and behind him, and maybe the person that, you know, he has an opportunity to save.
And that's why it bothers the hell out of me that people go up and they go to are going to serve politically when you've never served with them boots on ever. And you're out there with a suit and tie going, I'm going to send people to go kill people because I went to college.
Yeah, I want to say that less than 40%.
What?
I want to even go less, like maybe even 30%. Less than 30% of people who are in political office, like Congress levels and whatnot, haven't even served in the military.
So it's like at this point, they just go, no, that's just what we do.
We're going to send your kid off to die.
And then they realize it's, hey, maybe I'll get a Nobel Peace Prize for getting in more wars. Woo!
Humanity.
Yay!
That's a horrible joke.
I don't know. It's the idea that nobody's talking about it for me, and it's that we're out there, like I said.
What do you mean nobody's talking about it?
We're talking about it. I haven't heard many people in a mainstream way speaking about this, where I sit back and we're out there covering all the media's coverage of stop the guns, and I'm like, what about the missiles? What about the missiles? Like, stop the missiles, though. And maybe take some of that money and maybe we put it towards the mental health, which would then possibly in turn stop us all from getting shot up by the nut jobs that don't. And maybe social circumstances, so where when someone gets pregnant and they can't afford it and they need a little bit of help, there's more help for them, or whatever it is, where we help our actual people here.
What if the mental health was derived from both sides of the family having to work too much and the kid growing up alone and being pushed aside and thus not being able to get the necessary affection, and then thus that drives them a little bit crazy, and over generations of this happening, we just end up with a bunch of neglected children that don't know how to be accepted or how to interact with people and so forth and so on, and now we have a mental health issue.
We work till I think the month of May for the United States government. We work from January through the month of May. It's about 5 months worth of your salary goes to taxes. I think it's like 4 or 5 months range.
Gross.
Yeah.
That's gross.
And I just sit back and I just go, my money's going to buy bombs. Like the biggest thing is the defense budget.
It's been a while since I've looked at that kind of stuff.
I mean, and every night I sit back and I hear it.
Okay.
Because I live right outside Fort Carson and I hear da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and all I hear is cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. I don't hear da-da-da-da. I hear cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Okay.
And I just go, man, I really should buy into some of that stock because these guys aren't going to stop selling bombs. They're really good at it. They're really good at selling bullets.
But then again, we're also raising a generation of people who are a little bit more self-aware.
Well, here's the thing. So with our taxes, you got to work more to make the money come in that you need to make ends meet.
Oh, trust me, I know. We're fodder.
Because the taxes are high.
We are here to make money so they can make money.
And so I just sit back
the more money we make, the more money they make.
And then it goes into bombs, which in turn creates my child to be retarded.
Which creates what it creates is your freedom. Is your freedom, your ability to say, I'm an American and we got the baddest armed forces on this planet and ain't nobody gonna mess with us. That's what those cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Yeah, that's soldiers getting ready to defend your ass at any moment. That's the way I look at
it. I mean,
see, now we talk about something completely different. We're talking about gun safety, and now we're talking about government spending.
I'm accepting all of this, and I think it's all included and all in a big conversation. I think it's all connected. It's all connected like that, to where again, it's like if you can pull back on the one and put it's.
I feel like mental health is a huge thing for gun control and gun safety. Like, I mean, it's as simple as that because I've met families, I've known families. I myself I've gone through this to where when you're properly trained, you take there's a certain respect you have for the weapon. It's almost like somebody who knows how to ride a motorcycle. People who know how to ride a motorcycle have a certain respect for that machine.
Sure.
You know, I mean, cars and trucks and stuff like that, people are less concerned. But like when you actually, it's you and the machine, you and the weapon, you know, you have a certain respect that because you create that relationship, you know what I mean? And then you've got people who just come in and grab a gun and go shoot up people. They have no connection. It's not, they're not playing by the same rules as everybody else. So when you can fix the mental health, people are going to be able to build a better relationship with their safety.
So, and again, this is a big circle conversation. Everything's included. The drug manufacturers, the pharmaceutical companies, mental health in our country. We have way less of a struggle in other countries to where last night I was talking to a buddy of mine.
Like you're talking about like wages per hour.
Mental health is what I'm saying. If you look at other countries' mental health, way better than America. We're so sad and depressed. Why? We got too much.
Right.
And I know you don't want to think we do. A lot of people don't. But when you say you're broke, you're not broke.
No.
You're still going to the dollar menu at McDonald's.
Right.
You're still eating food.
Right.
I had a buddy that just got back from India. And he told me, he's just like, guy, you have no idea. You want to see poor? You want to see broke?
Bro, I've been to Iraq. Like, I've seen what people are eating out of the streets, man.
It's a whole nother scene.
I know what poor is.
So when you see people here, even down to where you've got the homeless population in Colorado Springs living in tents.
Right.
And they're on the corners, you know, with their little dogs that we've discussed, getting that money or whatever. They're even eating every day. Every day they somehow figure out, as you said, it's smelting. Now, if there's no one to smelt to and there's no one around it because everyone's broke.
Right.
And everyone's poor and everyone's sick and everything's dirty.
And you got a dying city.
It's really not good. And at which point so now you want to be sad, but you can't because you're hungry. You don't have time to be sad.
Time to be sad.
You're like, I need food.
Monies.
I need food. I am hungry.
Right.
And so here in America, we've gotten to the point where they've said that the number one demographic for suicide is white Caucasian males. Caucasian males, if you, that was a double. Caucasian males, they say that they have the least to worry about.
Have you ever seen us deal with snacks? Watch that infomercial on YouTube.
It's
White
good.
people dealing with snacks, like the infomercials, the white people have the hardest time putting on blankets and pouring sodas and stuff. It's because it's for the all on TV, as seen on TV. So they got a new tool or an apparatus for you to
help
use
you get through.
to help you get through your daily chores and lives. And it's always the white dude that's just tripping over his TV tray or his.
I mean, you're right. It's to where we've made our lives so easy to the point that it's like, again, you need directions. You don't even have to stress about being lost anymore. You look at your phone.
It'll tell you where to go.
You need a boyfriend or girlfriend. You need a one
Swipe
night
right.
whatever.
Swipe left. Wait.
Yeah.
Never left? Which way do you swipe?
I don't
Anyways.
know. I've been out the game for way too long. Me and Mr. Church been together for so long.
Congratulations.
It's before all the
It's twins.
abs, dear Lord. Stop. Anyway, yeah, and I feel like all of these being together where, again, the mental health thing, we put everybody on the pills because the pharma's like, oh, we got to stop cutting people's brains out and lobotomies and electrocuting. So we'll give them these pills, at which point everybody becomes sad. Then they grab the gun. Then they start shooting everybody, at which point, maybe we need more poor people. Is that what I don't know what I'm trying to get at here.
I don't know what you're trying to get at.
I don't know what I'm trying to get at.
I think you're just addressing the fact that people are depressed.
I think so.
Oh.
I think mental health is
Hopefully
big.
they're not depressed while listening to the Manny and DrChurch show.
That's right. And I think I'm trying to get to his mushrooms, Manny. I
You're
want
trying
people
to
to
talk
eat
about
more mushrooms.
You want people to eat mushrooms.
I do. I do.
Isn't there some kind of mushroom fest coming to Colorado?
The Telluride Mushroom Festival in August with Dr. Paul Stamets. Yes. Yes, it's on its way. Do your research, people. This is a real deal thing to where...
The research is gathering. It's growing. I mean, they're dealing with depression. They're taking depression head on, and they're giving people microdoses of small amounts of hallucinogenic
and
mushrooms.
Mega, some
Is
of
that
it.
it?
Yeah, I mean, they're going the psilocybin route, if you will.
Right.
Which we've discussed before, but because we have new listeners every 15 minutes, and I will preface this, DrChurch is as much a doctor as Dr. Pepper, Doctor Who, and Dr. Not Dr. Huxtable,
You're not
no.
Dr. Huxtable.
Not like Dr.
Hashtag
Huxtable.
not me.
But psilocybin, the chemical compound for it, is 4-hydroxy dimethyltryptamine, which dimethyltryptamine, DMT, is what they call the God molecule. It's in your brain, released in everybody's body.
Why would they call it the God molecule?
Because it's in us and around us, and it's in like.
What does it do though? Like if you had a mass amount of it, what would this molecule do that's already in our brain?
Oh, well, I mean, you find God, I guess is the best way to describe it. Well, so you can have a religious experience with you can cheat and
so use an example like dopamine.
So DMT, there's more than one method to get to it. It's a chemical compound, right?
Okay.
And you can extract it from the Bufo alfarius frog. That's one method.
Okay.
You can extract it from more than one thing. You naturally
But aren't you
produce
saying
it.
that it's inside of us?
You
We
naturally androgynously produce it within your body.
So we do at a regulated state to where it's obviously not at your tripping balls state.
Correct. You're not constantly out there just like Okay. However, we discussed this recently. I'd never actually encountered this till recently. You not introduced me, but we ran into somebody that was dealing with schizophrenia, which is a thing.
Right.
And in schizophrenics, there's a high percentage of them that when in their urine, 5-MeO-DMT is a very high chemical compound in their urine, which is what makes you hallucinate and see stuff.
If somebody who was psychotic
Right.
or had dealt with schizophrenia and medicated for it or something along those lines, you're telling me that they would urinate high amounts of DMT or amounts of DMT?
It's been found. Now, don't go run
their
off.
urine?
Yeah, don't go run and finding your friends that are schizophrenic and be like, pee in this
Pee
cup.
on me!
Pee in this
Pee
for
on
me, please.
That's horrible.
No,
That's horrible.
No. But again, they're doing more research on all of this stuff, and
Right.
where the doctors out there are doing. There's a couple of them that they're putting their licenses at risk trying to get funding and get these
Absolutely.
things, this stuff going. They're doing amazing research, and the stuff that's coming, the results coming back for are amazing. To where
Are they factual though? How do we trust them?
they're mushrooms, they're delicious. No, well, here's what I go with.
That's not how this works.
Well, here's the thing: is for me these chemicals. What's interesting about mushrooms, what's interesting about DMT, is that when you get a dump of DMT, like an androgynous dump, or you get where you cheat and you smoke it or whatever, or you can inject it. There's many different methods of delivery, but it's all the same. There's no faith required is the best way for me to describe that. You want a religious experience? There's no faith required. Eat the mushroom. Watch what happens. And I'm talking about the psilocybin, obviously based ones there, where that's that.
And
but,
this is their ploy. This is what we're trying to solve depression here.
All right. Well, so here's my thing. I put the two together. When you go to church, right? We talked about this before. People get upset when I talk about this, but I'm like, I
was
love
just
to
watching
connect.
your mic slowly drop and watching.
It's like, don't talk about this right now.
Yeah, you're dropping.
Don't do it.
You're dropping with your mic here.
Don't do it. Don't go down this road. It's not worth it. It's almost Easter Sunday. You're gonna piss people off. Sorry, Manny. It's just I like to connect chemicals.
If you got to.
And churchings and just how people are changing the world in general. To where we talked about DMT, and I've said before how DMT, one of these chemical compounds, is changing the world in a major way. Where you can express DMT naturally through prayer, through fasting, through sense deprivation.
Okay, so you told me that there's been MRI scans of the churchgoer who's in there hollering, more. What would you classify that? Was it the gospel?
Right.
Is that? I don't know. I'm ignorant in the.
They go into their zone.
I'm talking about the ones that sing a lot. The big praise church ones.
Yeah.
Where they're just exerting a whole lot of effort, putting in stepping it up to 10.
Right.
And you're saying that those individuals have been photographed, and they have high levels of DMT.
So, they've done research and brain scans on people's brains.
Okay.
And
Educate me.
When you see different connections light up in the brain, then you start seeing similarities, if you will.
Right, absolutely.
And so they'll see that dopamine receptors and all these other things in your brain start lighting up, reward receptors and so on, to where people rewire their brains, even down with food. You'll be like, oh, and with weed or with drugs. To where I've pointed out, you can be addicted to religion, to where it just gives you that extra little bump,
boof of euphoria. I can get through the day.
It feels good now, and
that's an interesting topic that I would like to be able to address, like maybe with somebody with an actual PhD.
To where, as in, like they go down the road of, hey, this works for me. Like, does it?
I don't know. I think it's a pretty heavy conversation to have. I mean, for somebody to say that you're getting drugged by going to church, you know what I mean? We're taking all the.
What I'm saying is that your body has natural chemical reactions that you can and can't control sometimes.
Just down to the science. That's all I'm getting at.
Always
down to the science.
And it's like, so if somebody comes up to you and you're walking down the street and they put a gun to your face, your heart rate goes up.
Boom.
You start to sweat.
Adrenaline.
Adrenaline starts coming.
Chemicals,
you know what I mean?
Chemicals are just flooded inside your body.
Right.
And maybe fluids are coming out of you.
Maybe. Right. You might be leaking.
Like, oh my God.
It's a bad idea.
But it's a chemical. It's science. That's going to happen.
Right, and that's where. So what I've pointed to is the I guess the similarities in individuals that are changing the world. That I pointed to you before. I'll say it again. Is so Moses and Elon Musk.
Okay.
Those are two people where
Moses and Elon.
Moses changed the world. Okay,
right.
Everybody knows these 10 commandments. It's all over the place. What a lot of people don't know is that the burning bush local to that area is the acacia bush, which is rich in DMT. You set that on fire, you're coming down off the mountain going, I found God, and he gave me instructions, and I'm now going to tell you these instructions.
So you're saying Moses could have been drugged?
Not that he was drugged. Again, the God molecule being DMT
already inside
possibly might be the way to help you connect with that spirit world that your mom told you from church, or dad, or whoever, not you, but me.
Right.
Because I have the religious parents, but told me,
my dad dropped me off at church once.
He did that Spanish church. He was speaking like, what, Dad? What'd you do to me? But it's that connection there where I just point to going, hey, we are all one. We're all searching. We're all trying to figure it out. We all have that little voice inside us. That being said, science slowly starts to figure out, or tries to figure out, maybe what causes that voice, or what that voice is, or how, or why, or what expresses that voice. And
unexplained science can easily be misinterpreted as magic.
Well, and I say Elon Musk next to Moses because a lot of people don't realize Elon Musk is changing the world. And when you look at Elon Musk, a lot of people don't know that allegedly
he's one of the hottest companies, schools. People are they want to work for this man because he's pushing the boundaries.
He's changing the world,
yeah,
like
I
Moses.
agree.
And a lot of people don't know that he goes down to Burning Man on a regular when it goes down. And
Burning Man, that out in the middle of nowhere festival, light stuff on fire.
Google it. Everybody knows it's going down.
You said something about a tent.
No, Manny, we can't talk about that today. Woo! Woo! Thank God those mics were off that day. Wow.
That was good stuff.
They got some weird tents out there at Burning Man. But Elon's out there allegedly driving a pirate ship around, partaking allegedly in some of these chemicals and changing the world. At which point you sit back, and then, as I said, you look at some of these people and they go, I spoke to God. And they come back with that religious experience where, I don't like to admit a lot of this stuff, and I never have, but I will, because that's how we get down.
We're on the radio, and this is what we do.
Why not? And there's people listening, and maybe this will help you get through.
Maybe they can relate.
I did experience the magical mushrooms, allegedly, once upon a time, and I would say that I found God.
Yeah?
Yeah, there was no faith required. None.
Okay.
I had a religious experience.
Were you accepted?
Yeah, like I had a religious experience like no other, man. And a lot of people, I guess, I am regularly judged by, let's say, people from, I'll go with the Christian faith because that's the main genre of people that I'm from. Like my demographic, my whole people I came from, they're all very much Christian. They're deep. My parents are deep in.
Yeah.
And so they're always like, you need a relationship with God. Coming up Easter Sunday, I get it even more. You need a relationship with God. You need a relationship. And I'm like, if you only knew the experience I had, you would not be questioning whether or not I know God's real or not.
But some would say that's false. Some would say that's false.
Really?
But then again,
then
you're
I
saying
pull out
that
my chemical compounds.
But you're saying that the science,
Let's break it down.
The same is released on both settings.
Let's break it down. Yeah.
Whether you're in the church praising to God or
if all of a sudden you're sitting in front of a burning bush of an acacia bush that's rich in DMT. Yeah, same stuff.
Right.
Sorry, friends. And I know you don't like to hear this stuff. A lot of people get really upset.
But you got to look into the science.
You got to look at the facts on this one right now. And chemicals are chemicals. They don't have morals.
But you're saying that it allowed you to reach a certain level of enlightenment. I
would say yes. And where I was a very young age, to where I had this was a long time ago, so I'll speak on this because I don't even care because it's so past the
right.
I ain't into all this or whatever. But I had a buddy of mine. He came through with a giant pillow, and he threw a pillow of these little amanita-looking things.
Okay.
And he tossed it in my lap. I'm like, what the hell is this? And he's just like, oh, this is your life. You're gonna love this. This is the future. And
right.
he's just, I'm like, what am I gonna do with all this? He's like, I don't know. Eat it.
Eat it. Oh, there you go.
Enjoy it.
What about
change your life? And I was just like, what? I don't get it. And so I decided I went into I went into my other room, turned off the lights, turned on the first episode of Oz. That was a dumb idea. Decided to watch Oz, and I started watching Oz, and I started eating. I had no idea how much to eat or when to stop. I just started eating.
You just kept eating.
Oh Lord! I'm probably like
wow.
grams plural, like good like 5-6
really
range. Yeah. Now that I know like
that'll
measurements,
that'll do it. Definitely.
And I found myself where I ran into the bathroom and I'm staring at a mirror.
You don't.
And I'm crying.
You don't go into the bathroom. You don't go to
crying. Dude.
I mean, you can.
I had like a weird feeling of like, oh my God, this is real.
But it ain't.
It's real. To where whatever I was feeling felt so real and such an experience of like there's something else.
Okay.
And I start crying. And I'm like, what's happening to me? I don't even know. I don't even know. And it was just like, it was such a real moment. And since then, I would say that some of these chemicals have helped guide my life to where I've gotten. And I would point to other.
Some would say that it's dangerous, though.
I would agree.
To the extent of sometimes your brain isn't ready.
It's not ready.
Sometimes your brain's not ready to be able to handle, or even to comprehend, what's taking place, and then how you should handle what you've learned. Because you're learning. I mean, that's what you're doing. You're experimenting with yourself.
Sure.
And then what you find, sometimes you're not ready for. And then when you're not ready for that, it kind of divides you from your peers, because they can't relate. You've discovered something they haven't. Now either A, you're trying to bring them into your world or get away from their world. You got to be careful with this stuff because your brain doesn't always know how to react or handle it. You know what I mean?
Here's my thing, is we've talked about this subject too, is that chemicals once upon a time didn't have the same morals that we put on them now. Where they're like, that's a bad drug. They didn't have that. It was part of the culture. It was like alcohol. It was a chemical that was involved.
You're right. You're saying they didn't have the morals back in the day, but then people, I'm assuming, made poor choices, and then the people decided to put morals on the drugs and say, okay, well, now we've seen a whole lot of heroin addicts. That's bad.
Money.
Well, and that's true. That could be the driving force. Who knows? But I wasn't there, So
we talked about the Coca plant, the Coca-Cola plant, and all the Coca and all that. That
right.
was, all that drugs.
What I'm saying is that the research, the data has already been collected. We've been on this dirtball for a long time. So I mean, to have 50 to 100 years where cocaine was okay and heroin was okay, or all these things were okay. I'm assuming that people have learned in those generations that people didn't handle it very well. So they obviously went to litigations and went to their city councils and was like, yo, we need to outlaw this. Or they were like, okay, then you look at it like the lobbyists. Oh, how are we going to make money off of it? But
that's where I go with, I think people had fear, which is lack of knowledge. Timothy Leary and all these other guys scared a lot of people.
Absolutely.
They scared a lot of people in the 60s. That being said, again, is a lot of these people...
Imagine when black and white TV came out, you started talking about color TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you was eating mushrooms or something like that. Like, I had this dream, man, that Lucy, I Love Lucy was in color. Like you would be crazy.
But that's what spurs imagination. Imagination. These chemicals spur imagination, which is what spurs art, which is what spurs science, which is what spurs life. And I've said it before, I think, and there's the stoned ape theory, which I don't know if you've heard of this, where everybody's like, we're monkeys, we've evolved, right? How did we evolve? There was a certain period of time where our brains grew by a crazy percentage. Like I remember just jumped in size, quadruple, doubled in size, whatever it was. I don't remember the exact specifics, but
you're telling me that's what the missing link is supposed to be.
The idea is that mushrooms might have played a major role in it, is that you draw knowledge from chemicals sometimes because of the imagination brought forth from said chemicals,
right.
Cannabis,
right.
Mushrooms, and so on. And so the idea being is that we were geniuses because all of this was not illegal. We had the stars mapped out. Like, you go back to early Egypt, early Samaria, and all that stuff, we had it all figured out. It seems to be. When you look at early math and early concepts and all this stuff, and Planet Nibiru, and you're like, we just discovered that with NASA less than 12 years ago or whatever, and then you find out, wait a minute, that's in an old book. They've talked about that for years. That's weird. And then you look at chemicals. We've
been here for a long time.
But you look at chemicals, and you look at the control on chemicals. There's a guy, Carrie Mullis, I point to. He's Hoffman LaRoche. He points to LSD. He says that LSD is the reason why he invented what's called PCR, polymerase chain reaction, which is a major deal in science. It's major. It's a huge discovery. He credits it to...
By the way, you're speaking way above my pay grade. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Basically, the stuff that helps science move forward. It's like basically the hammer and the nail. He figured out, hey, I know how to hit the hammer directly onto the nail without hitting your thumb. I figured it out. And he figured that out with a chemical. And he credits it to this chemical. And you look...
The DNA strand was able to be illustrated only because the creator had a trip.
I've heard that. I've heard that on his deathbed. He said something like that. So... I'm not telling everybody run off and go jump into all this stuff.
You ain't ready.
The research is really interesting to me. I think that we should allow the research to continue in these labs and let all these things finish.
Should we rush it ahead of cannabis? Because we're still trying to learn about cannabis.
I think we need to let all these things honestly in a lab. And I think we need to wrap up our show because we've got 8 minutes left and we've just talked for a long time because we're the Manny and DrChurch show. We talk. We are a talk show. It's what we do. And I can't lie, I'm loving the topics that we've touched this morning. They're close to my heart because honestly, religion and chemicals are a major, major influencer in my world and others. And I think it's a topic.
I just want people to be careful. I just want people. That's the truth about it. Is
I want people to be informed. You know what I mean?
But that's
Do
the
your
hard
research.
thing, though. That's the hard thing is that we're all ignorant currently. A lot of the studies, a lot of the stuff is still just in the closet research. You know what I'm saying? So still, you've got to exert extreme caution when you're doing any of this stuff because you know what? It's your body. You got one life. And if you make a mistake, it's on you. You know what I mean?
And that's how we conclude this topic, Manny.
Truth.
That's how we conclude this topic. This is the Manny and DrChurch show. It's brought to you by Warp Zone Gaming.
Warp Zone Gaming,
which is in the back of 2508 East Bijou, the Speakeasy Vape Lounge.
I really wish we could have that jingle.
I know. She needs to record that and do the little snapping of the fingers. She had it. I miss you, Darkness. If you're listening, know that I miss you. I miss you and I love you, girl.
I want the Jetsons sound. That's what me, George Jetson.
Why do we always do it? We do that. That is where we're taking it to. It is weird. Anyway, Warp Zone Gaming. It's all old school videos in the back of the Speakeasy Vape Lounge.
Videos? I do got some old VHS tapes.
He does. Video games. Video games. There you go. Old school video games, all the classics. And VHS, he does. You put on the WrestleMania that one time. I do remember that.
The WrestleMania, it's like the Hall of Fame, the first, 9 WrestleManias. Talk about Andre the Giant and Randy Savage, Ric Flair, like the greats, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the beginning of wrestling.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Dude, he comes out in an Iraqi uniform.
Gangster!
Yeah, I was like, it was a different time back then.
This is crazy.
So we do. We kind of hang out in 1989.
So reach out to him on Instagram at Warp Zone Gaming LLC. Find him on Facebook at Warp Zone Gaming. # Game Room and Back.
You'll find it.
You'll find him. This show is also brought to you by Lab Builder Supplies. Are you lonely?
I am.
Do you have a hole in your heart?
I do.
Are you looking for that special someone?
No.
Are you looking for an answer? Do you want to know the secret to life?
Maybe. Well, this is getting out of hand. What happened?
Don't call Lab Builder Supplies. That's basically what I'm getting to because we have none of these answers.
None of those.
None.
What do you have at Lab?
Okay, what we do have at Lab Builder Supplies is we do have gloves. Is what we're starting with specific.
Like wool and
nitrile.
Oh,
nitrile.
You're talking about trim gloves.
Latex. Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Please bend over.
Yes. Going past the knuckle. Prepare yourself. We've got affordable trim gloves. All you trimmers out there, all you companies that own gloves. I know the Daily Dose is coming up next, so a lot of you people are getting ready to hear about extraction and weed and all this wonderful stuff.
Because they got that knowledge.
Y'all need gloves, because they're a real talk show and they have real knowledge. That's the real on it. But if y'all need affordable gloves, I'm hearing people are spending $8 to $9 to $14 a box on gloves.
That's gross.
Lab Builder Supplies got you at $6 and under. Reach out to them. They got a phone number right now, 719-722-4181. If you're looking for affordable gloves, 719-722-4181. Lab Builder Supplies, they got you.
You won't find them on Instagram. You won't find them on social media.
No, because it's all still being built. And it's all still such a new company that they were like, we don't care. Just start advertising.
You also ain't got a lot of overhead, so that's why you're able to sell these boxes of gloves at an extremely, almost half price.
I mean, yeah, to where honestly everybody's sitting here. It's one of your largest bills. People don't realize consumables will put you out of business.
Unfortunately, I agree. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like if you sit there consistently having to buy something that just constantly goes up in price, you're going to eventually get knocked out. So you can only set your price so high and have that profit margin so high. Eventually you get knocked out. So call us up at Lab Builder Supplies, 719-722-4181. If you want to learn how to 3D print DMT, if you're a squirrel milk extractor, again, do not contact Lab Builder Supplies. They cannot help you.
But you can come into the back of the game room of the Speakeasy.
Where, while supplies last,
you can get your squirrel milk.
Squirrel milk with the homogenizer. You have the froth maker in there.
Only due to special request.
Only for special requests.
But if they want to play Altered Beast or Road Rash on Sega Genesis, or if they want to play Mario or Dig Dug, Asteroids, you want to play Madden, like the original Maddens.
Ooh.
They've got some of the newer Maddens.
Ooh.
But the Tecmo Super Bowl, Double Dribble, Blades of Steel.
Wow.
Metal Gear.
Well, you're listening to the Manny and DrChurch show, and it's obviously brought to you by nothing but quality.
Quality,
y'all. And I'm going to put this warning out there. I just got a text from the mayor.
Are you serious?
That's just what he calls himself, the mayor. It's not like the mayor of like the town or anything. It just calls himself the mayor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a warning for Colorado beachgoers today. There's high levels of whale urine in the water.
Be careful.
Wear your Crocs.
And
that'll mitigate things.
Census is estimating so far that Colorado Springs is growing fast. We're about to outpopulate Denver.
What? For real?
Yeah. By the time the census comes out in 2020, because they do it every 10 years,
right?
We are poised to outpopulate Denver here soon.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that almost deserves a twin sigh. Just.
Colorado Springs, DrChurch is having twins. Boy and a girl.
That's horrible.
So if you guys want to send them some cute little onesies or something like that.
No, send me money, y'all. I'm going to be broke. I don't want that. Just send me money. Just straight cash. I do still accept Bitcoin. Even though
you get Bitcoin for your babies.
Yeah, I need Bitcoin, y'all. Just send me all your Bitcoin. Blue, that wandering Buddha, if you got any of that excess Bitcoin lying around, please.
He's gonna get us informed. I'm gonna have to drag him into the studio.
Drag him in here because it's a topic that I'm ready to go down and discuss. Honestly,
I need to see where it's been, what Bitcoin's been doing. Who's moving it?
She's doing her thing. I'll tell you that. She went from $19K down to like $6,500. But if you look at it over the last year, it's like we're doing great.
Really?
So it's like if you're a day trader, you ain't happy if you're not.
Happy.
How much was one Bitcoin worth last year? This time.
Oh, he just
Here we
asked
go.
his
I'm
smartphone.
asking Google. Oh, man.
How much was the last year?
Oh.
You didn't ask the right question?
I didn't answer. It was cheap, though.
Okay.
It was so cheap.
Sorry, Colorado Springs.
It was $12.49.
What?
I just made that up. Why not? I'm allowed to lie on this show because it's almost April Fool's, Manny. So be prepared tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of lies on this show. It's going to be just a show filled with lies. I might talk about flying people who walk on water and turn water. No, that's not right, Manny.
I'm wondering if the internet's going to break religion tomorrow.
It might.
Because April Fools, they're going to say Christ is risen or the resurrection of Christ. And then they're like, oh, no, yeah, just kidding, April Fools.
Anyways, the Manny and DrChurch show. We'll be back tomorrow, y'all.
Colorado Springs, keep it locked. Blazing 98.5, Dirty Game Studios.
Oh, it's wonderful. Alligators are gay crocodiles for real?